What's
I see
happening?
a box back there.
Preparing to live stream the meeting. Yes, your rototons are here, Darren.
Yay.
They've been here. I just brought them over from the office.
Thank you.
So
Thank
did you hear back from Shelby or Dave?
Nope. No, because I didn't remind them last week. I just thought that they would have it on their calendar as usual.
No, they don't. Okay. Well,
Whatever. It'll be three of us. We'll have a good time.
okay. We got
Here's
the merch.
Shelby. Oh, Shelby's here. Admit. Shelby's here.
We got the merch.
We do. Merch.
Merch.
I don't have my.
I wore my T-shirt last time. Look
Yeah,
at
we got.
her.
There's Miss Shelby.
Hello. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit flustered and sweaty today. I've been cleaning the house, and I've just eaten my dinner as fast as I humanly can. So I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit flustered.
You look great. I have so been enjoying all of the Radar Fest footage.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Oh my, how exciting for you. You guys sounded amazing. You energized the whole place. It was really lovely. How many cameras? Who was out there taking all those groovy shots of
Hang
you?
whoa, wait.
Oh,
We're going to hear all that. That's going to be the Kairos feature here. Just hang on those questions.
All right.
We have
so we're not live yet.
We are live.
Oh, we are. Good. Hello, people.
We are live.
Okay.
Right now it says hang on. Let me just refresh. Yeah, it says I'm on YouTube. I see live with Restream. Cool. There are people watching. Let me click on this over here. Okay. Here's some. There's some chat people in the chat. People in the questions. Okay. Okay.
For some reason, it isn't coming up in my Facebook, honey. But I'm just letting you know.
Try to refresh. Facebook is in super glitchy.
Yeah.
Lately. Okay. So there's all right. So welcome to.
Good.
All right.
Robert Schindler says, "Hey kids."
He's back. Hey Robert Schindler.
Robert Schindler, we love you.
So thank you so much for checking out. This is live stream Q&A number 5 for our core virtual tour. We have Miss Shelby Logan Warren. We have Darren Brannon. We have Natalie Brown. Dave Bainbridge got asked to be a guest for what concert? The very best of Cream's, the Cream tribute band in
Sons of Cream, and he opened for them tonight. So probably not joining us unless it's from his car on the way home or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, Shelby was talking about how she's been sweating today. We've definitely been sweating all for the last 2 days ourselves.
Oh God.
Our Collier Brown acoustic group had a gig yesterday in Pennsylvania. We performed for an event that happens every year for charity, and they raise money for children with cancer. And it's a lovely event. There's usually 150 people there. They've got a big stage outside. There's a band called We Came From Space also played there. That's Bill Hubauer's band. He's the keyboardist from the Neil Morse band. It was a great event. But we were definitely sweating all day Friday getting there, and then we were sweating from probably 9 and 10 in the morning until I don't know.
Well, and we were rained out. We had a 4-hour rain delay.
Oh, the 4-hour rain delay. That's why all the stuff is out here, because we had everything got wet, not super wet, but we had to tarp my gear, which I shared gear with Bob Richardson from Cell 15. He performed. But even though you tarp the stuff and you tarp the stage, there's still condensation and stuff, drips. And so we're just everything is open with fans on to make sure that everything's ventilated, and I've got to plug everything in and make sure that all the equipment still works properly. It was fine for the gig, but we just want to make sure, because we have another gig at Prague Camp this coming Saturday, which we're very excited about. This put on by the New Jersey Prague House people, so we'll be performing there. And I just want I want to share some wins with everyone right now. We have a lot of, and you're not stepping on your phone. We have a lot of nice reviews coming in. We have more and more FM radio airplay and internet radio airplay. And I'm not going to share everything because I want people, if you want to, there's a lot, and I'm trying to do my best to keep up with it. But if you just go to our Facebook page and scroll, you'll see all the call outs. But I will say that Power Play Magazine said it was one of the best albums of the year. Progressive Rock Central website said it was one of the best albums of the year. Ken Slater, who we love, he's a fan. But
does he still manage at the Robin? Is he not doing
he
it?
ran the Robin too in
Birmingham?
Birmingham, right? For Bilston, Birmingham, is that right, Shelby?
I didn't know that, but now I know.
Oh, he ran that for several years, because when we played there in 2017, we were on tour with IO Earth. He was helping to handle that gig. He's now got his own show on Progzilla Radio called Progressive Musings with Ken Slater, and he said it was our best album yet. Sean Garrity from Progzilla Radio said it was a super new album. We got coverage on, there's a YouTube channel. This man has 60,000 YouTube, 70,000 YouTube subscribers. It's called Classic Album Review, and he recommended it in his new albums of the week. What else? Anyway, we're getting
Go check it out. There's
a lot of nice people saying a lot of nice things about it. So we're really excited about that. So Dave and Shelby, even though Dave's not here today, Dave and Shelby, oh good Lord, who's he on? Dave and Sally.
Sharon.
No, he's married to Sharon, but he tours with Sally.
Yes.
Sharon, Sally, Shelby. So Dave and Sally have been touring England, and they're doing very well. They just got some coverage in Prog Magazine, the one that was just out Friday or yesterday, and that looks really nice. And then the largest news in terms of fan base is Shelby with Kairos. So we want to hear all about the Radar Festival.
Wow, gosh. I mean, it was a very surreal experience. We always knew that it would be our biggest show yet going in, but I think nothing could have prepared us for what it would have been like. It felt it was incredible from beginning to end. I think we played to, I don't know, anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 people, and massive stage, so big that I had so much space and I didn't even know what to do with it. So yeah, I ran around. You see me prancing around and just, flailing that guitar around and making the most of it. And the audience was great. We managed to get a little dance pit going. Not a mosh pit.
I saw that.
Pit. Yeah.
Yes. It was so festive and fun looking and just joyful.
It was a fantastic weekend. Absolutely fantastic. And then we spent once we had finished our set, we had, for the rest of the weekend, we had half a dozen interviews, which our management lined up for us. It was a very, very full-on weekend. We were worked very hard, but it was for the best. And, we got to meet so many amazing people and, rub shoulders with some of our heroes. Like being able to play the same stage as Dirty Loops, for example, was massive for me personally, because they're one of my favorite bands. So, seeing us on that stage, and then 4 hours later was like one of my top 5 favorite bands on the same stage. And then being able to briefly chat with Henrik, the bass player, later on that day was just, I still feel like none of it has really sunk in. The whole thing just feels like a dream.
Yeah.
But it was great. To summarize, it was great.
Yay. You deserve it. There was also at the event, that we did, even though it was a private event, tons of proggers, obviously. Everybody's really excited about the Friday slot that you guys are opening. They're really excited about seeing you. There were a couple of younger chaps there, our friends Matt and Shane, and we've seen them at Rozfest and Progsock and Rutsfest, and they only got Friday passes. I was like, hey guys, we're on Saturday. They're like, but they only got Friday passes mostly because of you guys. So
wow. I mean, we're very flattered by that.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement from you guys.
There's a real sense of, there's a palpable energy in the air when it comes to how much this latest album has been hitting people, and how much people are talking about the band.
Yeah.
It's great, I almost feel like I've, even though there's been all of this growth and all of this stuff happening with the band and all this buzz, my mind has still been so focused on all of the stuff at Sensible, at the studio, that I just every now and then my mind checks back into Kairos, and I'm like, oh, we have more fans. There are more people who like comment on our latest post or in our Discord server. And yeah, it's great. I really don't know what to say other than the fact that I'm incredibly flattered, and it's a very exciting time.
Yeah.
How
Lovely.
long was your set?
It was 40 minutes, short but sweet.
And did you guys take, I know that you're really good at having your own sound and cabling and your light show and everything is coordinated. Did you have all of that for radar also, or how did that work with lights and sound and all that stuff, monitoring and everything?
So, rather ironically, given the size of the show, this was actually one of our most stripped down setups that we've done in many, many years. We took our regular monitoring setup, which is entirely self-contained 32 channels that we feed into our input box. But instead of then giving the front of house person an iPad and connecting the left and right speakers to our box, we split all of our channels, just mirrored every 32, all 32 XLRs. We just mirrored them and said, right, these XLRs go to the venue and these XLRs are ours, that no one is allowed to touch, and that is for our monitoring, and we control that ourselves.
Good.
And we didn't take our lights because the lighting rig there was insane, and the lighting engineer, massive shout out to whoever was doing the lighting that day. They somehow just knew the cues, just knew it. You know, all of the downbeats, all of the right kind of vibes were just hit with the lights. And yeah, it kind of was quite simple. It rather miraculously, there was not a single technical fault at all. Everything just worked.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great.
Wow.
That is miraculous.
That is miraculous. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm counting my blessings with that one because now I'm nervous about what's going to happen with these next few shows, you know, because there's always got to be a balance in the universe.
Yeah. Well, Prague Stock, can be a throw and go sometimes, as festivals can be. But I think they've gotten used to the space now, and there's a lot of really good crew people, and I think it's going to be better. And I mean, it's always great, but it's always like madcap behind the scenes, like madness, people running, like, backstage in a theater production of, some comedy or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think every festival has its fair share of, high blood pressure and stress and unexpected turns. But yeah, no, I should also give a massive shout out to all of the Radar crew. And everyone was just absolutely so on it, and it felt like a very organized, well-oiled machine. I was
Our
seriously
our friend Robert wants to know if it was filmed, if it was recorded.
We need to check in on because I thought Grace, now for those of you if you don't know, Shelby's business partner with am I saying that correctly? Insensible Music Studios, at their professional recording studio in London that they have recently become the new co-owners of. Grace is your business partner. And
yes.
Did she stay home and hold down the fort, or was she there filming stuff for you guys and other bands?
No. She was there the whole weekend. She was there before we were there because she was working for Prog Magazine.
Oh, for some reason I thought I asked if she was going, and she said she had to stay home and hold down the fort. But maybe I'm confusing that conversation with if she was coming to Progstock. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, I think because she's not coming to Progstock, so
oh,
that's it.
Okay. Because I remember thinking surely she's not going to stay home that weekend and not miss the festival. So I didn't know she was working for Prog Magazine. Okay, that's very cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. How many cameras were you able to film with?
We didn't. The set was not filmed. It was only we had one of our crew member, Andy, capture a couple clips here and there, and that was pieced together into a bit of a reel that was posted just the other day. So there'll be a full 16:9 version going out on YouTube on Monday. But that's just little clips here and there just to give an idea of what it was like. But unfortunately, we didn't. The show was not filmed. There was too much stress for us to even think about trying to organize something like that.
Yeah.
Because I guess because we saw the clips into the reel and we're like, great, we'll be able to see the show too. But so those.
You had to be there.
Okay. You know what? There's a couple YouTube comments from Kevin Fries or Fries. He writes, I see you and we'll see at least two of you next Saturday. Okay, great. So that means he'll be at Prague Camp in New Jersey.
Cool.
And Michael Govro writes, I can't wait to see Kairos at Prague Stock.
Nice.
And we cannot wait to be there. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic time.
Yeah, it really is. We're looking forward to it.
Natalie, did you say any other people on the Facebook?
Not on the Facebook thread, no. Oh, but shout out to George, who's joined us, and Sal and Tony.
Fantastic.
Very excited, yeah.
And also today's live stream, because it's number 5, it has to do with the 5th cycle of our virtual tour this year. And it's also about questions about the official video for You, the song You, for the which Darren did for us. It's also to talk about the behind the official video. So I don't know, Shelby, if you've had a chance to watch it, but it just went up Friday, 2 days ago, for the behind the official video. And I just want to thank Darren for shooting camera footage the day that we had the fire engines here. And I want to thank Shelby for all of her footage that she filmed the day the fire engines were here when we shot the video, because I used all of it. I used all the pictures. I used all the video. It's all spliced together. So while we're talking about it, when we were filming it, I was able to splice in all the B-roll so people can actually see that we could not see from the volume of haze and smoke and the fire engines. And that was a great effort. So I'm proudest of that behind the official video, because even though we had a heck of a day, it turned into a fantastic story. So, Darren, do you want to give us any more insight into the actual official video?
Sure, be glad to. It took a while. A lot of the effects are accidental, so I am admitting that up front. There's a lot of blending that I had to do to make it look the way that it looked. And one of the things that I am amazed at every time we do these things is how much footage we shoot. I know we spent a long time on that dock area. Remember the
long shots on the dock, the front loading dock.
I used 15 seconds of that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we spent probably a couple hours out there filming that, and I used it for 15 seconds. I'm just saying, I just remember being in the hallway and all this, and you just don't know sometimes what you're going to end up using and how it's going to be used. So anyways, it's better to have more than not more. So
yeah.
But anyways, I think the video turned out very well. There was some color temperature issues I had, but I had to fix that in post. So, but I think it overall looks pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So
we're getting some fun comments.
I'm sorry there's not more of Dave in there, except for the guitar solo. But other than that, I think it looks great.
Yeah, so, but we were able to superimpose him above us, which is always a good thing. So.
Yes. In third rail in Shelby's, he's between a couple of arches.
Right.
And in You, he's on the brick behind us like a mural.
Somehow Dave just appears out of nowhere.
He's just mystical like that, he just appears.
Absolutely. I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Our buddy Wes joined us, and I gotta get rid of this, sorry. And he asks about tour dates, but right now it's just Prague stock. I mean, even if we had tour dates, they wouldn't probably be able to happen in Shelby and Dave, because you guys are so busy. So we'll just, but come to Prague stock and see us then. It's gonna be great.
And Prague stock is also going to be live streamed. Prague stock will be live streamed, and also we will have a multi-camera audio and video shoot taking place at Prague stock this year. So we will have a product. Our next CD, DVD, Blu-ray will come from Prague stock.
Yes.
We'll have some behind the scenes footage. We'll be shooting some footage during the week before, during rehearsal. And we would love nothing more than to be able to tour this new album more than Proxuck this year. So we're currently looking at other things for the future. It involves Shelby's schedule, it involves Dave's schedule, and it involves logistics. There are a lot of things that go into it, and we would love to do it. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you up to date as soon as we know something. So what else? There was the video, the lyric video. We mentioned it before, but in case you're watching this video and you haven't had a chance to watch the story behind the song video, and you haven't had a chance to watch some of the other things that we've done, this particular song, You, was inspired. Darren brought this one inspired by the band Tool. And Darren, would you like to speak to that?
Sure. I always like to speak about that. Can I say when did we write this? When was this? I can't keep track of the years anymore. So
22, and we crafted it in 23, and then it came out in 24.
So I think it was right after Tool released their Numa album. I was obsessed.
Well, you know what? You and I went to go see the tour live, but the album had been out maybe before that. So that was before the pandemic, wasn't it?
Right? Was it?
You and I went to see them in November of 2019, I think, is when the pandemic hit, right? So the album came out in 2018 or 19.
Right. So I was obsessed with the record, and I ended up putting together 6 or 7 songs for what will be my solo project. And I ended up playing those songs to Andy and Natalie, and I think we all kind of agreed that this was probably the one that would fit the most to Circuline, whatever that means. But we ended up bringing it in, and I think it was the 4 of us with Billy that were kind of crafting everything together, as far as vocals and lyrics and everything. We did end up kind of rearranging things a little bit more, but the kind of theory behind it is very Tool inspired, meaning that there's a bass part and a drum part that kind of intertwine with each other with different time signatures, and they all kind of meet every 16 beats or so. I mean, I had it all figured out at the time. I'm not sure exactly what it is anymore, but so you can tell, especially in the second verse, it's the vocal parts I think are laying on top of that kind of in 4, but everybody else is changing. So which is something that Tool does quite a bit. So that's that section. And I believe the chorus that we ended up doing for Circuline ended up being a lot more hard rock than what I had anticipated before, which is I'm really glad, because I think with the vocal line and the lyrics and everything, it's a very hard driving, cool rock chorus. So I think it turned out pretty well considering. So.
Yeah, I had at some point we realized it was uncountable and unplayable.
Yeah, you can't.
So I said I came up with, I said, what they do in Evanescence is they'll have some kind of piano line to anchor your ear, because the rhythm was so all over the place. So I came up with some of those single piano lines to have the listener something they could latch onto to follow through in the verses, and then the chorus we just said just put it in 4 and do that.
And Shelby's bass track on that is really wonderful. It's really great. And I'm segueing because a dear friend of the band, big happy progger, Sal Lucido, thinks you are the very best bass player we've ever had.
Well, I'm very flattered by that. Thank you very much.
Just saying.
That's an awfully nice thing to say.
What's really cool is that a lot of people they know you now. They know Shelby Logan Moore, and they know your face. They know you play bass with us. They know you have a band, Kairos, but they did not know that you're singing lead and playing keyboards in your own band.
Yeah.
They just know your name and your face in your band. And we're like, no, she's singing lead and playing keyboards in her own. And they go, really?
Yeah. She's not just a bass player. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they didn't know. So that's great. On
And
YouTube.
oh, by the way, this is You is George's favorite track so far.
Oh, that's cool.
Very
Thanks,
nice.
George.
And hang on, I'm just trying to I want to keep up on these. Wes also reminded us that 10 years ago, was it 10 years ago? Or
Wes
almost 10 years
Ostergaard,
ago,
yeah.
he was at our first gig at Ralph's Rock Diner.
My goodness, Ralph's.
That was in November of
Ralph's.
2014, and Matt Dorsey was playing bass with us. And
Ralph's,
yes,
where if the walls could talk, they'd be filthy.
And if you've never been to a stickier floor,
oh my
let's
God.
just say that it was, yeah.
But it was a great music venue.
It's a cool music venue, but it was gross.
Supposedly, they have really good hamburgers. The
hamburgers are fantastic.
Yeah,
the hamburgers are really good, and the chili was really good.
There you go.
Yeah, well.
On YouTube, Robert Onions writes, "Hi all, a quick question for Darren. Do you use a certain make of drumsticks? Because that hasn't been out in the Gear Behind the Music video series yet, but you go ahead and tell them now, give them an advance.
Yeah, I do. I was using ProMark for a while, but now I've switched over to Vater, Vater. They make a 5A, which is what I've been using probably for the last 25 years or so. And I really like the sticks because even when I'm playing a song like You, they don't break. Yay!
Speaking of drumsticks,
I really like it. And I think because of I'm a huge fan of Craig
Lundell.
I love him, and if he uses Vater, I use Vater.
There you go.
Speaking of drumsticks, I wonder what drumsticks Shelby will be using when we have our drum feature section at Brockstock, and we all rotate, and Shelby's going to be playing Darren's drum kit.
Yes, she is, and she has a full array of Vater drumsticks to choose from.
Go, fantastic.
Really good, yes.
5As will do. Back when I was playing drums more regularly, I was on 7As very briefly, and I found they would always break. They're way too thin.
Well, 7As, that's right. 7As I was using for such a long time when I was doing more jazz-oriented stuff because they are a lighter weight stick. But I found the true sweet spot for me is the 5As, and so
I think the moment I gave in and said, you know what, 5As are the best, even though they're like the most common, they are the best, and they're the most common for that reason. That was the moment I matured as a person.
There you go. Welcome to the drummer's world. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Well, just in the background here, this box I'm pointing at is another one of Darren's rototoms that we're going to have. He's going to have 4 rototoms because when we do the drum feature and Shelby plays drums.
Okay. I'm going to tell you,
drum kit, and he rotates.
I can't do what I need to do with 3. Gotta have 4.
And
you know what they say, more is more.
It is, exactly. More is more.
Yes, more is more.
And of course, yesterday at Ruts Fest, this private fundraising event where we performed, the person from Progstock, Tom Palmieri, he and the promoters, the leaders, the founders of Progstock, he was already giving me a hard time about how much gear we would have on stage and how many inputs we're going to need for all of our extra drums and whatnot.
Gentle. We're trying.
I said he said we have to keep it into 32 inputs. I said we should be fine at 24, I think, maybe 28, but it'll be fine.
We've already made decisions to reduce some of the inputs anyways already. So
we've already done that. So I didn't.
Robert Schindler said he's bringing his triangle.
Robert Schindler brings about 27 keyboards, and you'll make sure that you want to check him out because he is really fantastic.
Yes.
I'm also very excited. You can't see it from the camera, but our set of Moog Taurus 3 bass pedals down here that we need Shelby to step on.
Boy.
Well, you're going to be busy, Shelby.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She's going to be excited. Because I know everyone else wants to borrow them, and I always want to say no.
That's right. This time we're going to put them on our stage.
Well, it's a very expensive piece of gear, and people
Didn't we have them on stage? I don't know if this was for Circuline or for Downing Gray. We went through it, and they're heavy. And we went through all the trouble to move them onto the stage. And for some reason, I don't think they were plugged in, that wasn't turned on. And at the crucial moment when we needed it, it wasn't there. And that's really devastating.
You know what? It was Downing Gray, and it was one of our last gigs. And we were doing, what was the Genesis song? First of Fifth. And Dave Ostrowski, he went to go step on the bass pedals for the big epic moment, bah, and no pedals. And if it was like fire shot out of his head at Bob, the sound and light guy.
He was, we were already calling him anger management guy, but that made his head blow up. We probably should we delete his name? Do we care?
No. It's been over 10 years. It's fine. Okay. Anyway.
Good bass player. He was a great bass player.
He was amazing. His bass. Okay, you'll appreciate this, Shelby. This guy was it a 32 band EQ or a 16 band EQ he had on his bass?
Oh, it was huge.
He was constantly, like between every song, he had memorized the settings so that he could make his Fender bass sound like every bass you've ever heard on any record, and he knew what the EQ curve was on his thing. And so between songs, he was always like the record, sound like the record. And he would turn around and EQ between every song on his bass. And it sounded like the record. It was amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
There was but there were other issues. And so anyway, here we are today. 10 years later. Here we are today.
And here we are today. Yes. Thank God. Yes.
I shall not open Pandora's box.
No. Thank you.
Oh, here's another question on YouTube from Ellen Reinstein. For the vocalists in the band, how do you keep your voices in shape? Okay, let's ask Shelby, you answer the question first because you are definitely a lead vocalist in your own band. What do you do?
Lots of warming up. I've picked up a lot of techniques and ways to look after my voice from my vocal coach. Shout out to Matt. He's incredible. And I've been with him for about 1.5 years, 2 years now. Lots of just, I don't do any of the usual sort of traditional things like, lemon and ginger tea, or like the steaming my throat or anything like that. I don't really do any of that. But what I do before a show is I sort of hum under my breath. I do a lot of like, that seems to help kind of dislodge any, undesirables in my throat. And otherwise, warming up goes a long way if I have the opportunity to, which I don't always, but,
Yeah, I feel you.
Natalie.
Yeah, right. We know what you do. I hear it every time we have a show or you're about ready to record. I don't know how you do it.
Well, because I don't do anything the way I'm supposed to. I've never sung properly. I'm amazed I have any instrument left with how I've done it. But it's what I'm as I've gotten older, I've become much more disciplined. I had a lot of hubris around my voice when I was Shelby's age, and I could just, it was like a really good muscle to me. It was just always there. So it's been very humbling to age with this voice, and realizing, like any other muscle, like, when I get out of bed, I'm a little stiff. Everything needs a warm up. I need a really good, solid warm up. I do the steaming of the vocal cords, but that's from the, theater people do a lot of that. So that's still, I kind of do that. I don't have one of the fancy ones that they all carry around and steam as they're walking. I still do it over a boiling pot of water with a towel, if it's fatigued, if I feel like maybe the cords just aren't really getting together and there's just too much air coming through, I'll steam my cords. But yeah, she needs a lot more TLC than I've ever given her now, but she delivers the goods, when I need her. But but it does take the warm up is key. It's a weird thing to gauge though, because too much of a warm up will do you in. You oversing. So it's tough. I'm learning now how to gauge that because I almost do too much where I feel then at the end of the gig, I can feel I'm a little ragged. And because I haven't been singing as much as certainly during when I had a theater career where I did a ton of musicals and it was a well-oiled machine and I sang a lot. We don't gig a lot. So there's huge stretches where I'm not singing and it takes a while to get her kind of back after that. But I'm very confident actually going into Progstock because of these 2 acoustic gigs we've had and all the rehearsal and warming up we've been doing in and around there. So she's definitely back, but she needs a lot more TLC than she used to. And it's just, it's a fact of life, but that's how that works for me.
I'm not a naturally great vocalist. So for me, I feel like I have to work harder. So I treat it like an athlete, and I know that, because these are 2 little muscles, right? They're like little muscles right here in our throat that vibrate. So when we're training every day, if you were an athlete, especially since the Olympics are on now, people train 6 days a week. And so I find for myself that I try to sing for at least 5 or 10 minutes every single day. Even if it's in the car, if it's at home, I try to warm this up every single day just to keep it kind of used to working. Once a week here in the cave, I spend 3 to 5 hours running another set. I'm an understudy for a national touring act. I'm a backup. And so every week I spend 3 to 5 hours rehearsing, singing, playing. So that's actually been the best thing that I've done in the last couple of years is just every single week I'm singing 3 to 5 hours, running that whole show. And then I also sing every day. And then like Natalie said, we've had these acoustic gigs. So we've been singing a lot, even on Sundays. Shelby, what kind of rehearsal do you guys do with Kairos? Because I know that Joey, your guitar player, lives in California and you're in England, and I'm assuming your bass player and your drummer are in England. So how do you guys prep for the shows? You get together for a couple days before, for a week before? How do you guys do that?
Usually we try and get as much solo practice in as possible, and then depending on where the show is, we will usually get together a week or so ahead of the show and we'll do a whole load of intense rehearsal in the days running up. But that's a luxury, in most cases it'll be a matter of getting together 2 days before the show and just going for it and just getting as much rehearsal in those 2 days as possible, and then that's it. It'll be an intense time, and in those kinds of situations I always find that I have to take it easy. Otherwise, by the time we reach the show, I may have strained my voice from all of the singing that I've been doing all day for 2 days,
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, I get that. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to the day. What we are hoping to do is in the future with touring is to be able to have Shelby singing with us on all these vocal parts. We're not doing it for Progstock because with her Kairos performance, plus she's got all the bass stuff for this album and the other material. There's so much to learn. We didn't want to put the pile of vocals on top of you with.
And I am so grateful for that because I think it would have been too much for my brain to handle.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, right. But in the future, I think that we would all sound really great together. So
absolutely.
So instead, we will have a 6th person on stage with us with Progstock. His name is Michael Govro. We love Mike. Yay, we love Mike. Mike's been singing in the Collier Brown group with me and Natalie since 2016. And he actually fronts his own band, a 9-piece horn band called Jumptown in Virginia. And he sings Motown for 2 and 3 hours. It's like 44 songs a night. Is that what he said he sings lead on?
Yeah.
Like these are, and last weekend he had a triple header, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, and he has a vocal coach as well. And Mike will be playing percussion and singing harmonies with us. And Darren and Mike are working out all of the percussion drummy parts. You want to speak to that, Darren?
Sure. We've never had this before, and I am I am not the most percussion-y kind of guy, as you can probably tell on these records, but I think adding this to a live, you know, kind of thing would be kind of a nice effect. We're not going to overdo it too much with percussion, but you know, Mike is a skilled player, and I trust him implicitly. And we've been going back and forth on kind of things to do. Plus, we do have that drum off thing that we're going to do. So there's going to be a lot of interplay between everybody playing percussion and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get this on stage.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
One of the interviews we had last week was with Goldmine magazine, and the guy asked us about Darren and Say Their Name, which no one yet, as at the time of this recording, has heard yet, because that will be out when the album comes out on Friday, September 20th. And just so you know, the live version of Say Their Name will be a little bit different than the album version. But you want to speak to that at all? That's where kind of the drum feature comes in.
It's hard to talk about it, you know, if you don't know the song too well. But there is a percussion. Last part of the song is, for me, kind of my inspiration from Pierre Moreland's Gong. Big fan. So I took a lot of the elements that I had listened to when I was growing up from a few of his records, and we kind of incorporated that into the record, you know, on the record. So, and what we did was do like a little, I don't know, 12 bar percussion, you know, drum thing, and then we went back to a 8-bar kind of guitar riff, and then we were kind of going back and forth. But for the live thing, we want to make that percussion, that drum off thing, to last a little bit longer. So we're kind of not doing some of the guitar riffy thing in lieu of doing more drum stuff, and everybody in the band gets to play something. So everyone gets to take out their frustrations of the day on a drum. So good for you, right?
Well, I have a drum or a tambo.
Well, that's the thing. When we're in rehearsals and I see what Mike has,
Okay.
we'll assign you a special little percussive element for you to ding, ding, ding.
Excellent.
So you will be playing.
Cool beans.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I think is that enough for today? I think it's enough for today.
We're good.
We're sorry to miss Dave, but Dave, again, on tour with Sally in England, got nice coverage in Prague Magazine, and he is tonight with Sons of Cream.
Sons of Cream, I've seen.
Right. Hope they're breaking a leg. You know, I really wish, I don't like the break a leg thing. I know that that's what people say, but it's just not nice. I don't want to wish someone breaking a bone while they're.
Well, there's a whole thing around it.
Because they don't want to jinx it if you wish them good luck and whatever. They got to come up with something.
But I read, it sounds kind of cool. It's the actual sons of a couple of members of the original band Cream who are doing their thing, and they asked Dave to do a bunch of keyboard stuff to support them, to open for them. So that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Shelby, when are the next Kairos gigs?
Not too long. In fact, we are playing the Netherlands in a couple weeks, and then immediately when we get back to London, we will be playing a show in London. So that's it for this month. Just 2 shows, Netherlands and London. And then September is just going to be me focusing on studio stuff and writing towards the next Kairos album. And then, of course, October is going to be mad because we're going over to Germany. We're doing Euroblast. And then when we come back from Germany, I then immediately fly over to the States to join you guys. And we're straight into rehearsals. Wow. And it's going to be a mad time. October is going to be insane.
Wonderful.
I didn't know you guys were playing Euroblast in October. I didn't know that's when it was.
That's so great.
Did you guys do that last year?
No, this is our first time doing Euroblast. We are headlining the second stage on the 3rd day.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yay.
That's awesome.
So good. So great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. All
okay.
right.
Anybody else as we're signing off? Anything else on the Facebook feed, honey?
Oh, yeah. Robert says, thanks. Can't wait to see us. Wes says, rock on, jam on is better than break a leg.
There we go.
And he can't wait to get the CD next month. So yay.
Okay,
bye.
great,
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Shelby. And we'll see everybody later.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.